Welcome to your dynamic directory. Today we'll tell you everything you need to know to get started to make beautiful directories worthy of publication. Along the bottom of the screen, you see a series of multicolored tabs. These tabs each have a different function, which we'll look at now briefly. The Members tab contains information for all of your members' contact information, including partners and children, notes, and addresses. The Staff tab contains information for your staff particularly. The 3UP directory is 3 photos across, and the 4UP directory is 4 photos across. 3UP Plus works with square images to make rounded corners with slight borders, and the 4UP Plus does the same. These only work with square photos, but the other 2 directories, 3UP and 4UP, work with photos of any size. Here in the directory, you can see the contact information together with cross-references for spouses with different last names, and children's names in parentheses, and all the contact information you would want to have listed. We have a tab for birthdays, which will arrange them just by month and day, and for anniversaries, which also makes sure to use both spouses' different last names when those have been added. Mailing labels will take all of the contact information and create mailing labels in the Avery Standard 5160. Let's take a few moments to look at quick tips. First, to move your directory sideways, hold down the Shift key and turn the roller ball on your mouse. You can also move tabs, especially ones that you may not have need for. Here we're going to move our 3UP Plus and our 4UP Plus to the far right of our tabs because we don't plan to use square images. Now everything you need is easy to see. You can also move your tabs back just as easily. Some people wonder how to save their file. Under the file, there is no option to save, and that is because it is always saved. Your directories will always be in a saved state without having to click the button. You can also hide columns. We allow for up to 10 children, but if you don't have 10 children in your organization, you can click the top of a column, right-click, and choose Hide Columns. When you choose that, those columns will disappear, and where they were, you will see 2 small arrows left and right. To unhide them, highlight the column before and after, right-click, and choose Unhide Columns. Now let's look at how to get started using your directories today. The first thing you will want to do when you get your new directory, after having looked at everything, is get rid of the placeholder data. To do so, click on the number 4, drag your mouse all the way down to highlight the rows that contain information. Once they've all been highlighted, right-click on what you have highlighted and choose Clear Rows. Now they're all blank. We'll do the same for the Staff tab, highlighting row 3 through 7, right-clicking on the row number, and choosing Clear Rows. If we look at the directories now, we'll see that they are completely clear, ready for you to add your own new information. How do we add information? Simply by beginning in the first open row and adding names. Let's put in some information for Jessica Smith. Here we'll add her name. To add her image, we'll go to the Insert menu. We'll click on Image and Insert Image in Cell. This will open a window that will allow us to drag in a file or to open our file browser on our computer. Because we have an open file, we will click here and drag it over, and you can see it will be added into the cell. Let's add information for the rest of Jessica's household. You'll see we can add information in each of these cells. We can add a child with a different last name. We can add the address And there is even a column for notes that we can add, which are sortable if you choose to use them that way. In fact, there are even some columns that have been left open for you to use for other things, which would be up to you. Here we can see what it looks like when we look in the member directory. Let's say that the name was typed incorrectly. Watch how quickly it will update. You can see the information is correct on the birthday list, and nothing is in the anniversaries list because there was no anniversary. And here we see the mailing label. Let's add a second name. We insert the information as before, and here we can see what it looks like in our 3 across directory. Notice Applegate and Gabriel have a slash because they each have different last names. In the 4 across directory, we can see it formatted slightly different to get 4 across. And here they are in the directory. Note the cross-reference for people with different last names. We can go down to the birthday list, and here is everybody listed. And here they are on the anniversary list. The mailing labels have also been updated. Note the different last names. The sections with those 3 tight lines are where the dashes, where the divisions will be between the labels. There's enough room for 4 rows, so if we add an address line 2, we'll be able to see in the mailing labels that they fit just beautifully. Let's add some members of our staff. And we can add the particular role of this staff person and the order they should be displayed in the directory. This will pull them out of alphabetical order and place them first. You'll want to add them with their household in the Members tab if you want them to have their own mailing label. Let's add a second staff person. And let's make her display order 1. And again, they are not listed in mailing labels. This is because they may want to be listed with their whole family under members. This way they are featured as a staff person at the beginning and included with their families in the members, which is where the mailing labels would come from. Let's add a candid photo to our directory. You can see home phone /caption. That's for candid photos. We'll skip a line. At the bottom of our directory, wherever it might be, we'll add a candid photo. This could be from a potluck or from an outing. And then in the home phone caption, we'll add the caption that we would like to be listed in the directory. You can list captions of up to 9 words. That's because of the space limit in the directory. So here we're writing having a great time at the park, and that will become the caption. These photos will always be placed last in a slightly different font, and you can see them on both directories. This can be a fun way to add photos. Remember, photos can be any shape and any size. They will display beautifully. If we are using square photos, we can also look at our 3-up plus and our 4-up plus, and these will also look quite nice. These, of course, are only for square photos. The standard 3-up and 4-up work great with photos of any size. Since these 2 names are out of order, let's click these 3 lines and click Sort A to Z, and now they'll be listed as we would expect. It didn't matter in the directories. They were already sorted for the photos and for the contact information, but this is easier for our own use, and that is how you would sort by any column, by clicking those 3 lines and choosing Sort A to Z. If you ever make a mistake, you can do undo. Here we are undoing all of the information that we have just added and going all the way back to before we removed the placeholder information. Let's see how these things look when they're printed. Here you can see the 3 across photo directory in its print window. Now there are many blank pages here because the page is ready for many photos. So when you print, you'll want to click Next and then choose the pages that you want to print. We'll click Custom and then we'll scroll to see how many pages have photos. Here we can see there are 7 pages with photos. So in our page range, we'll tap 1-7. Now, because this is listed as a save as PDF, as you'll see in a moment, when we click Save, it will let us save as a PDF. This is how it works in Chrome, and it does print best in the Chrome browser. See here the destination says Save as PDF. This is also where you would choose your own printer, in which case the button would say Print. Let's look at the 4 across. Here we'll go again up to File, then to Print. And here we can see what the directory will look like 4 across in its printed version. Just beautiful. You can see some of our candid photos there at the end. We'll print in the same way. We'll click Next. Now we'll scroll to see how many pages have photos, in this case 5. So our page range will be Custom 1-5. Now, because our printer is listed, the button says Print. We could also choose Save as PDF, and the button would change to Save. Let's look at how the 4-Up Plus looks when it's printed. Here you can see they look just great with the rounded corners, the slight drop shadow, and a little bit of border. The 3 across also look just gorgeous. Again, we would do File, Print, and here we can see what they look like in their 3 across formatted version. Let's take a look at the contact directory. Contact directory prints in 3 beautiful columns, and the top of each column begins with a heading. That means that at the bottom of some columns there's a little bit of white space that allows the next column to begin with the next full household. Let's take a look at the mailing labels. Here again, File, Print, and you can see how nice this is going to print in the labels. Imagining the lines between the stickers. Sometimes people want to copy and paste birthdays and anniversaries. We'll go up to Edit and Copy. Then we'll open our email or other file. A Word document works great. And we will go into the body and push Paste. It may come up in a default font, and that's very easily changed into anything that you think might look good. We can do the same thing with anniversaries, putting them into newsletters or emails. Let's say we want to copy and paste all the anniversaries from May. We'll highlight them. We'll go to Edit Copy. We'll open our email, and there we can paste them. We can change the font to anything we might like and hit Print or Send. Finally, let's show how to migrate to a new version of Dynamic Directories. Let's say you've got the new version and you have it saved already on your Google Drive. On your current one, not the new one, but the current one, you'll click on the Members tab, choose Copy to Existing Spreadsheet, and then you're going to choose the new version of Dynamic Directories that you want to copy to. In this case, we're going to call it the new directory. So we'll sort by last modified, and we'll change the arrow so we see the newest, and there it is. We'll click on that. This is our existing directory to copy to, and say Insert. This is taking this whole Members tab and moving it into the new directory. We'll do the same with Staff. We'll click the small arrow, copy to an existing spreadsheet, and we'll choose the newest version of Dynamic Directories that we want to copy to. In this case, we've called it New Directory. Now both of these tabs, Members and Staff, have been copied there, so let's open it. Here's our newest version, and if we scroll to the end of the tabs, we can see Copy of Members, Copy of Staff. This is our information from our other directory that's now in this one. All we need to do is copy it in. So we'll take all the placeholder information in this new directory, highlight the rows, right-click a number, and choose Clear Rows. To make it clear, we'll do the same in Staff, highlighting the rows, right-clicking the number, choosing Clear Rows, and now we're going to copy our information over. So we'll go to Copy of Members, we'll highlight the rows of all of our members that we've brought in. Once all the rows with data have been highlighted, we'll choose Copy, right-click Copy, and then we'll go to the Members tab. We'll go to the very first open cell and not choose Paste, but Paste Special, and then Values Only. That's going to bring the information but not change the backgrounds. And here we see all the information has now been copied in. Now let's do the same thing with the Staff tab. We'll go to Copy of Staff, click it, highlight the rows with the information, right-click Copy, go into the Staff tab in this new directory, click the first open cell and choose Paste Special, Values Only. Now all the information is here, and we can double check that all of the tabs should now look beautiful and be fully populated with our information. When everything is correct, we can now delete these two Copy Of tabs. We'll delete Copy of Members, and we'll delete Copy of Staff. Remember, we've already copied the information over, and that information still exists in the other directory, the one we're migrating from. Finally, don't forget that in the Start tab, there's lots of information that can help to guide you. Quick tips to get you started, the Getting Started tab, which gives you 7 things in order to do as you're beginning, a very detailed how to access a backup, alphabetize, add new members, add images, add candid photos, add and remove columns, add text formatting like bold and fonts. In fact, let's take a moment to look at how we would change formatting. Here we can change the words at the top of our directory. We can also go and change the words in this introduction. In fact, we could even change the fonts here, and it won't cause any difficulty at all. Don't forget that you can undo by going to Edit, Undo. And you can do that each time to undo step by step to get things back to exactly the way they were when you liked them best. So we can see how to hide unhide columns, delete placeholder data, migrate, print, rename sheets, which by the way is just clicking on an arrow and then choosing rename. And then you can call these sheets anything you may want to call them. And if you liked it before, edit, undo, we'll take it back to the way that it was. You can undo your mistakes as we've looked at, leave cells blank, search the sheet, and add birthdays so they sort. The very last section is an About section, which gives you a little bit of information about each of the tabs. Thank you for watching this how-to video. Welcome to your dynamic directory. We hope you have years and years of great success making beautiful directories for your people.